Think of the general info page as controlling what people will see when they are searching for your event on the calendar. First, it starts with your name. You can make any edits or changes to your race name here in the general info section. You just need to make sure that the race name you select is unique to the platform. For example, if I choose 2017, it'll indicate this title is taken. And that's because PaddleGuru Showdown 2017 is already event name in the system. So I select 2018 again, and it says this title is free and can be used. So make sure that you choose a free title, otherwise you won't be able to move forward. When it comes to location, simply type in the location you're looking for into the search box, and then select the appropriate address from the drop-down menu below. Once that's selected, it will put a red dot in that location. You can click and drag the red dot to put the actual race location exactly where you want it to be. And this is helpful if you have a location that may not have an exact GPS address. Moving on, race start and end date are pretty self-explanatory, but this is where your event will go from upcoming races to past races once your race end date has gone by. So make sure it's as accurate as possible. Contact phone is just for internal use, and you can leave it blank if you don't want to use it. It's not a problem. For race listing, this is whether or not your race will be publicly viewable on the race calendar. If it's public, it'll show up on the calendar. If it's private, it'll only be viewable by you and the other admin you select. I know it's a very enticing thing to go public right away, but let's avoid going public until everything on the race page setup is complete. And the system may even stop you from going public if your events and pricing haven't been set up yet. So we'll leave it as private for now. For race start list, this just means when people view your event, can they see who's already registered? If it's private, this will be indicated by saying this start list is private. If it's public, anyone searching can see exactly who's registered for your event and what events they're entered in. Moving along to admin, you will be already the first admin in your race because you created your race. But if you want to add any additional admin, just make sure to type them in and make sure you also have a PaddleGuru account. Let me demonstrate. I want to add Tim Hornsby. And as you see, I've entered his name, and then he appears in the drop-down box below. Click on his name, and then you'll see that he's successfully selected as an admin if the username for his PaddleGuru account appears beside the type box. Now, for an example of when it doesn't work, I want to select Dave Petrovics for my second admin, but I type him in and it says invalid. The reason is Dave goes by his full name, David, in the system. And you'll see that when I finally typed in David, I was able to select him from the drop-down menu, click on his name, and then he moved from invalid to the username, and it shows that I successfully selected him. So make sure that if you are adding an admin, that their username appears to the right of the type-in box. Finally, the description is what people will see when they're reading about your race. Keep this to 500 characters or less, and make sure it's the bullet points for your event and what you want people to read when they're just scrolling through the PaddleGuru calendar. Finally, select Save Changes. Otherwise, you won't actually save any of the changes you've made. Without clicking Save Changes, there is no autosave on the system, so make sure that's done before moving on.